Good day everyone, I am Dr. Maria Victoria Castillo Magayon. The pandemic caught educational sectors across the world unprepared and highlights stark divide of access to education for those who can afford it and those who can't. Extreme shift of learning delivery and modality were employed and adapted, such as school learning continuity plan. The curriculum was adjusted through most essential learning competencies. The schedule of classes were changed to adapt the modality of the new normal. In senior high school, 5-5 scheme were adopted, in which 5 subjects are offered per quarter and for an allotted time of 8 weeks for each quarter. In the Philippines, according to Molina 2019, research subjects are newly integrated in the basic education curriculum. It is essential to monitor the proficiency level of the students in different competencies in different research areas. Students who failed to be competent in different research competencies will have difficulty in conducting research when they will go for further studies. In addition, being not too much competent in doing research may also be reflected in the respective workplace. For this reason, the researcher developed a curriculum alignment and instructional strategy to ensure that the student can cope up with the requirements indicated in the curriculum guide. Capitalizing my expertise in curriculum instruction, my know-how and exposure, and expertise in conducting research, and anchored on the database and other related literatures that highlights that conducting research causes anxiety to students, plus the consideration that learning amidst pandemic is tantamount to limitation of time and spaces. The project IALETS was conceptualized and developed using curriculum alignment strategy by threading all the needed competencies from the 4 research subjects, namely Practical Research 1 and 2, Capstone Inquiries, and Capstone Immersion, into a whole and part learning task or research activities so that the students can come up with a meaningful scientific research output such as product and prototype development. This is the Project IALETS STEM Curriculum Alignment Model. IALETS stands for I for ideation, E for exploration, L for laboratory, T for testing, S for sharing or publication. As you can see, there are 4 phases. In every phase, there is a corresponding research subject in it. And in every research subject, there is a required output. Like for example, in Practical Research 1, the nature of Practical Research 1 according to the curriculum guide, it's more on qualitative design. So one of the most applicable applicable qualitative research design to come up with a scientific paper is the meta-synthesis. The meta-synthesis is a collection of different research articles. So in this stage, the students were tasked to come up of a synthesis of the 25 related literature using the matrix, the guided matrix, and then together with the course task or TTAP course task number 4. It is templated. So in that matrix, it is they can easily sort out the significant statements, of which significant statements that are related to their proposed topic. So using this strategy, in this stage, the students can easily verify, confirm the plausibility, the feasibility of their proposed topic. Also, in this stage, they can already sense if their proposed topic is already saturated or not. If it's saturated, so they will go back to the topic proposal. If not, they will continue the synthesis. And while doing the synthesis, the students will complete the introduction part of their manuscript or research manuscript. Then in practical research 2, exploration of their ideas. In this stage, the nature of practical research 2 is more on quantitative. So in this phase, exploration phase and practical research 2, that the output that is required in this stage is the more on existing model of the prototype, the formulation of their proposed topic, the existing formulation, the research design, the methodology, and then the logistic, the availability of the materials needed, the cost, and etc. So in this stage, the exploration stage, even the design, the drawing, the pictorial representation of their product is already in place, ready for product or prototype development. And that product and prototype development will transpire in the capstone inquiries, of which they will develop their product or concretize their ideas into a prototype. And then, during this stage, if they need to test it using the laboratories, or if the research project needs to be evaluated by standard testing, so they will do the standard testing in laboratory or testing centers. In this stage, the product or the prototype is already evaluated, validated, and underwent experimentation. So in the ideation, exploration stage and the laboratory and testing stage, the required output is the methodology and the findings. In In capstone inquiries, data presentation is already there. Discussion of the data or findings is already in place. So after the capstone immersion, the preparation of the manuscript, since in capstone immersion there is a required oral defense, so the students in this stage are ready for oral defense or presentation of their outputs or research project even in the research congress or in the contest or whatever. Uh, sure enough, in this stage, the product or the prototype is already evaluated and assessed on its merit and its significant uh, value using statistical tool and scientific method through experimentation. So in practical research or capstone immersion, the students now are ready to compete for best research, and they can go submit papers for the research congress or publication. So this is how Project IELTS STEM curriculum alignment model works. Threading the 4 research subjects to come up with a quality and creating a meaningful learning. The whole and part scaffolding principle, curriculum chunking, curriculum compacting issues in this STEM curriculum alignment model. Together with the Project IELTS are the validated activity guide called Template-Based Task-Based Activity Plan or TTAP course task, and the localized module in research methodology in capstone, designed fitly for the curriculum alignment strategy model. The TTAP course task was developed way back 2019 or 2019. It was validated. This is already presented in local and international research congress or presentation. Together with me is Ma'am Valdez and Ma'am Cruz. And then also I developed a module specifically aligned and anchor on the model. In PR1 and PR2, we use the normal or the provided module from the department. But because of this strategy, curriculum strategy, I developed this to target on the competencies so that students can develop their own product or prototype. These are the curriculum materials for the in aid for the implementation of the Project IELTS. Yes, truly enough, Project IELTS works for students. Among the groups, almost all of them come up with a brilliant ideas, brilliant product, fitly for science investigatory project or science experimentation. These are the real products. These are some of the real products. It is a minimal situation that the student cannot complete their product development or prototype. Again, as a result, students were able to produce diverse research projects that truly align to what are expected to STEM students. Science investigatory project, product and prototype development, such as minor wound healing and antifungal cream from plant extract, alternative bricks, craft paper out of animal manure, organic insecticides, alternative source of energy, prototype of a landslide alarm, and other science investigatory such as anti-corrosion spray out of plant extract, wound healing cream out of activated carbon, antimicrobial spray, and germicidal soap, etc. Amazingly, the students really cope up or provide or showcase what beyond what are expected from them. The word stress, depressed, or feeling of anxiety is a common word amidst COVID-19 pandemic because of the transition. Now, as a research teacher and a guidance counselor, I don't want to add more anxiety to my students. According to Van der Vetusen, 2015, conducting research can cause anxiety to students. Yes, my students are performing. How about the impact to this, emotional impact to them in conducting research? Considering this, the limitation of time and space. So this is the purpose of this study, to check the sentimentality of the students in conducting research amidst COVID-19 pandemic. At the end of the session or at the end of the school year, I conducted the feedback or the voice of the customer using the Google form, and then using the semi-structured interview guide, and some random question about their experience in conducting research amidst pandemic. So I use sentiment analysis model by Jagtap and Pawar 2013 in analyzing their sentiments or narratives. This is prepared in a matrix or Excel to quantify, to sort the sentiments of the students. My research question is, what are the sentimentalities of STEM students while conducting research amidst COVID-19 pandemic? Using the Microsoft Excel, the sentimentalities of STEM students are sorted according to the codes beforehand, I already assigned codings. What are the keywords that fall under positive notes? What are the keywords that are assigned to the negative note and others? So, using the uh, Microsoft Excel, so the words phrase uh, were copied and paste it into word cloud app. So the word cloud app will sort it automatically. So in this figure, you can see that there are small letter words, there are uh, larger font size. The larger font size represent that there are many respondents that uh, says about that words. Like the word easy, mahirap, easier. So the most significant word that uh, surface in the work in this from this data is the word easy, easier. So this is verified by the actual narrative of the students. So in this result, so it showed that the word highlighted are easier, time, easy. One respondent said it is much easier to learn and to understood. It is like a puzzle that we are solving it part by part, then making it a whole research. While another said research is one of the hardest subject and most of the students hate it. Through our journey with our teacher, it is like a light subject, and for me, I didn't notice that our papers is slowly progressing. That is the purpose of Project Kayanet. Part by part, the students can uh, complete their without noticing that they are it's like a puzzle that part by part at the end of the day, at the end of the of their research subject, those parts they just put it together and they can come at that is already their manuscript. The radar chart of positive sentiments of STEM students is represented in this figure, of which it showed that the word fun has the longest among the spoke. Next by easy, easier, very easy. The sentiments to conduct research diligently, great, and eager to learn are the significant positive notes. Now, this is the radar chart of a negative sentiments of the students. So as you can see, unlike in the positive note, the lines are closer, more dense. This is not uh, lighter. So there are only minimal numbers of that says that it is hard. Uh, Radar chart of the negative sentiments system showed that the most significant sentiments are being pressured, anxious, being hard. It showed that this radar chart that the magnitude is not that compacted, unlike the on positive sentiments. So this is the circles, the lines creating a circle is the magnitude, the dense, the uh, speak of the density. So the number of responded that says it is hard. But as you can see, it is not. It is more on minimal uh, respondents that says it is. While sorting the negative and the positive note, I observe as I analyze the significant statement that uh, there are significant statements, phrase, words uh, that does not neither fall on positive and negative note, but rather it is both the feeling of hate and love sentiments. Why it is have hate and love? As you can see that the narrative or the feedback of one respondent says, it was really a roller coaster ride. Sometimes your research is stable. Sometimes something comes and goes. There are modifications. But all in all, it was a great experience and I learned a lot from it. It is also lead me to have very sensitive feelings about our environment and surroundings because of how our studies involves of a great compassion about helping to save the environment. That was the actual and a genuine, authentic reaction of students when they found out that their research project is a successful one. And this is one of the themes that I surface on my analysis using the sentiment analysis by model. So the theme is see me through. So in this theme, there are respondents that they appreciate the system, the process. Like for this, thank you for the template that you gave to make our research easier and better. The template is very helpful. All in all, I'm grateful that I experienced this kind of situation because I become more knowledgeable and develop myself. Overall, my research experience in TSHS are something I can really remember and pass through the future generation. In conclusion, the mixed emotion poured out from the experience of the students strongly signify that the interest and engagement of the STEM students in conducting research, despite of the pandemic situation, is really a meaningful learning. I would like to end my discussion or presentation on this quote. Somewhere something incredible is waiting to be known. Happy learning.